The other wonderful thing I remember was that when I was working on one of the concerti, and then there was this really difficult part, and you said, "Don't knock yourself out. Nobody will hear you." You have all this experience. I mean, since those four concerti, you after that you
Well, of
ended
course.
up learning so many. You have like 85 or.
No,
how
good
many-
God,
how many-
no, that.
But I
The
remember
people
seeing,
with the great collection of repertoire was the Russian, what's his name, who became a conductor,
Ashkenazi.
Ashkenazi, and the Italian pianist Polini, who seems to play everything, and Barenboim, who seems to play.
I remember your agent gave me a list of your
Oh
repertoire.
yeah, there are about 40, but it's at least
40
half of
concerts.
what those others play.
40 concerti.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
it's at least half. I mean, I've heard Daniel Barenboim play all three Bartok concerti. I've heard Polini play just about everything under the sun. And Ashkenazi, I'm convinced he became a conductor because there was nothing left for him to conduct,
To play on the piano.
record.
So you would just push yourself to learn more repertoire, even if it's not one of your engagements.
Well,
It's just
it was
decided.
engagements were so hard to come by.
Right.
Engagements were and every one of them became a life and death affair to you. And so it was a different atmosphere than what it is now. And at least it was for me. I don't know what it was like for other pianists. I mean, all the other pianists in my generation, whether it was Sidney Foster or Willie Capel or George Bollett, a wonderfully gifted pianist, William Marcellus, who died at a relatively early age. There was a stack of us, and it was a different attitude. I think the attitude is basically that for all the other instrumentalists, there was the symphony orchestra as an alternative. But for the pianists, I don't think there were universities with performing departments, but performing degrees. I have to really take the trouble to look that up. But so the pianists would go for broke. They were really putting their careers and their lives on the line. But it's absolutely true. Today, I think the big difference between the people in my day and people today is that they all want that piece of paper more, and they want the job. And there are the jobs, don't forget, because there are, I mean, I've played in some very small towns in the United States in my lifetime, and suddenly you come there and there's a big opera theater, a big multi-purpose theater. And they're beautiful, beautifully constructed and big, and they're used by the people of the town and everything, which is absolutely wonderful. But they're more interested in that than they are in the self-learning experience, the business of playing concerts, which you can do in these atmospheres because the schools want you to play.
Yes.
I mean, if you go to a small college or even a large college, you can play as many recitals as you want.
But you don't feel that the pianists of today are that interested in getting better all the time like you guys used to?
I really am rather depressed by them. Really rather depressed because they are all going out to small colleges, which is fine. I'm all in favor of that purely and simply because it means they can enlarge their repertoire. They can perform. They have the luxury of even playing badly. I mean, there is no artist who hasn't finished a concert and hasn't looked at himself in the mirror as he takes off the evening clothes and said, "Oh, Jesus, I wish I could drop dead." You see, so that's that, and if there is such a pianist, I admire him enormously. But in essence, that's what it comes down to. The advantage of the teaching in a small college is that 9 times out of 10 you can play as much as you wish.
Right.
Instead of which I find many people that I thought were quite gifted who are very happy with their little job in their little university and their little salary check. So that's something that I feel strongly about. And I've heard some absolutely fabulous pianists, and I was lucky in having some of them as students.
Yes, you used to talk about some of these
You see?
extremely talented people.
Yes, indeed, who are quite happy in their little domain and just doing that.
Do you think it's very scary for pianists to come out and just say,
Absolutely, it's scary. It's very scary to walk out on the stage in Carnegie Hall.
For you, even now?
Oh, for me, it's always scary. I'm
Every
a
concert.
nervous Nelly, so to speak.
And what makes you go out there?
Oh, I'd love to. I'll die if I can't go out there. I love to play, I love to perform, and I love to bring music to the listener. That's absolutely my goal in life. Even to this day, I really find that the most rewarding experience, even if I'm not happy with my performance, which is most of the time.
Most of the time?
Yeah, I don't think everybody's happy with everything that you do. Because you change as a person.
Right.
I mean, you're not going to play a Schubert sonata in 1935 the way you played it in 1995, the way you played it in 1995. If you do, there's something retarded, there's something wrong with you. You see? So you grow as a person, you grow in your sensibility, you grow in your own demands, and probably your demands become more and more impossible to reach.
So you become more and more critical. Do you become more
I
and
don't
more
like the word. You
nervous?
become more and more demanding of yourself.
Yes.
Yes, I don't.
So basically, you went from 4 concerti to 40 because you wanted to be able to do more.
No, because there was an engagement for it.
Oh, okay. So that's the driving sense, is that what drives you to learn?
That was certainly a driving sense.